Hello, hi there, Scorpios. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bella. Most people know me as Bella the Secret Psychic, and how I do my horoscopes is with the help of my spirit guides. That's how I do all of my services. And this is your general sort of love overview for November 2017. But just to answer some people's questions that people have sent me through emails and so on and so forth about my services. Well, firstly, they are in the links down below, but you can either access me through my website where I do mini video readings, or I do longer Skype calls no matter where you are in the world, and those readings start from as little as £6.99 because I like to keep everything as affordable as possible, and then they go up a little bit more depending on what you want. Or you can join me at my Instago account, which is like, you might just have a very quick question off the cuff where you just want to quick message me, and I message you kind of relatively back as soon as I can. Nothing never takes really that long for me to get back to you about, but they start even cheaper. They're from £4.99 per message, so do check me out down below. And thank you everybody for all your kind support or your comments. I do love to hear from you, so please keep continuing to do that also too. So what is it that my guides want you to know when it comes to your month in November? I mean, the first thing they say to me is that you need to be bold and you need to be valiant. Bold and valiant. What do they mean by that? Something you need to be bold about throughout this month. The way it's been started, and I've noticed this with most star signs so far that I've been doing, is that the first week is what I call a dodgy week in terms of anxious feelings, but yours is a little bit more milder, because I get here, if you're single, you're just starting to date somebody, either just before that or just in this week, or somebody's just trying to reconnect with you, like you've just got back with somebody's just come forward. And I get here that how the anxiety plays out with you guys is that basically you're just unsure about whether they are the truth, basically. Particularly if they are coming back, you're like, are they going to deceive me again? Are they really back? Do they really want this? Because it feels to me that they're very, I don't know, it feels like very full on, and there's something different about them, but that's making you feel uncomfortable different, because perhaps you're used to, particularly if there's an ex, of them being a certain way. So you're like, is this, can I trust this? Can I allow myself to have feelings and get happy and get my hopes up? This also will be true if you're single as well, that you meet somebody who seems to tick all the boxes and they seem to be good, but you're like, oh my god, this is too good to be true. Can I trust this? Are they going to let me down? Remember, guys, what you think about persists. So if you start to let your anxiety monster get the better of you, then you may manifest your very worries. So try to be aware of that, particularly in this very anxious energy, which will make, fear can be very contagious and can blow things out of proportion. So just be mindful of that. But I mean, overall, I do feel here that in comparison to other star signs, like there's minor things that seem to happen. I do get here that you are on the right path with your connections. So whether you're in an established relationship or not, you've got everything to kind of not worry about, basically. If somebody's coming and stepping forward, it still seems to be going quite well in the second week. I still get that some of you feel a bit cautious. And I think for some of you, particularly for the next, that where there was some sort of heartache or deceit, that it's in that second week that you start to realise that perhaps he wasn't over that aspect of it. And also, some of you start to seem to panic, single or again with this ex situation, that you start to panic that if they go quiet, or they perhaps don't text you back as soon as they can, that perhaps that means exactly what you're fearing. Do you get what I mean? Like your fear can get bigger and bigger than it needs to be, because I don't get that it's coming necessarily in that kind of way from that other person. So just be mindful of what intrusive thoughts you're getting at this time, because of the energy just being a bit staticky and a bit sort of aggravating, sort of as an astrological point of view, if that makes sense, in particular to your star sign. Because everything is actually going quite well. I have to say. Completely more well, and all you'll be doing is winding yourself up, so don't do that to yourselves. Please don't do that. It's like self-harm, so don't do that. And in fact, it gets better. My guys are saying here, as it gets to the third week, the sort of things, your whole patience over, whether you've been single and you've had patience to kind of finally meet the right person, you kind of get this kind of sense of being like, at last, I feel like I can breathe. And the same even with the at last with your ex, you're finally sort of back, it feels good, it seems like it's going well, despite your anxiety monsters, and you feel like you can relax. And then you relax so much, which is perfect. It's kind of like why I do these readings, is that I can tell you how you're likely to be, and you can just speed this up by just being like this right from the beginning, instead of having to wait till the third week. to kind of get like this, because my guides are basically saying here, then you relax and then everything starts to move really nicely and fast. So you get to see that person more. If you're in an established connection, it just feels really good. You're making plans. It feels like some of you that are in established connections, it feels like you want to buy a new property, or like make a big purchase together, which again really just reaffirms your commitment and is going in the right direction. Or even some of that big commitment could be about planning a family and things like that. But overall, I just get here that the third week you relax and everything is good. Now, I just want to hop back, because my guide started this whole thing with you needing to be bold and valiant. And I think part of that being bold and being brave a little bit is about being brave around your kind of emotions and knowing that things are going to be fine and not letting. And because for some of you, they're saying here, you'll try to not be yourself a little bit because you'll be worried about rocking the boat or things going wrong. And that boldness will also include, particularly if you took back an ex where they deceived you, about you being bold about expressing that, so you get it off your chest sooner rather than later instead of letting it fester. Do you understand? But that bold and vibrant, as you get to the third week, feels like you're just bold in terms of having this confidence. You and your new partner or your existing partner making really bold things and decisions together. That brings that vibrance into your life. It's good, Scorpios. It is good. And sure, everybody has conflicts, but there's a real theme and tone here about how much you read into those conflicts, or somebody doesn't get back to you that quickly, or being very mindful what you're doing to yourself, and what it is that you probably need to resolve, that's from either a past relationship or past experiences you've had with that person, in order for you to move forward in a healthy way, basically. Otherwise, you'll just ignore everything I've just said. You'll remain entirely anxious throughout the whole thing. You'll start to see things and question things and cause arguments and cause conflicts, which then will sour the waters between you, and particularly if it's a new person, and particularly if someone's got back, because they, of course, will have their fears too about whether it will work out, and you don't want to be magnifying them by them being the crazy one, if that makes sense. So don't do that. Please don't do that, because it's all fine. Be bold, be valiant, and bring that vibrancy into your life by just chilling out, basically, is the overall theme I get for you guys this month. So I hope that's helped. I'd love to hear from all of you. Do let me know how it all goes. Again, if you'd like to know more about me, or want a personal reading, or perhaps you want to join me on my Facebook page, where I'm there live at least every day, apart from the weekends, where I give some daily guidance there too, then all the links are just down below. So again, that's been me, Bella, and I hope to see you again next month. Take care.